This is an Eaton-Fuller 12513 transmission. It has too much play in the output shaft bearings, so we need to do a rebuild. Okay, let's start pulling apart this yoke. There's supposed to be some safety wire on here. Obviously someone's been in here before and there isn't any, so we have to just undo these two bolts and this yoke should come off. Then we can take this piston out, so then this shifting assembly will come out. So these bolts have a little special hole in the sides that's drilled all the way through, so you can safety wire these two bolts together so they can't back out. I think the previous person put a little Loctite on here instead of the safety wire. Next step is to push this yoke bar, is what they call it, through the housing to the front. So I'm pounding this shaft all the way through, and it's connected to this piston. Okay, those two bolts that we took out on the other side go through these notches here. Okay, now I need to get this housing off. So that shaft goes through this to that yoke. So to keep organized, I'm putting each section, there'll be 4 different outer sections and then 1 inner section in different trays or boxes, so I can keep all the bolts and parts nicely organized. Okay, next step is to pull these snap rings off. Hopefully I can do that without losing an eye. That was tough. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. If I had a bigger set of pliers, I could spread this further. I think this is the right tool for it. Man. Right tool for the job. I got a bunch of these pliers in a auction. I actually have a video on it, link in up at the top there. But yeah, I hadn't had a use for them. They're really nice. They can spread stuff out really nice, but they're perfect for these snap rings that don't have holes or they're bigger diameter where you need to really pry them apart. So yeah, pretty excited. It took me a quarter of the time of the other of pulling the other one off. So now I need to drive these shafts basically up to the bearing in order to unseat the bearings. So let's try that. Okay, that one's free. Okay, I think I have it, especially on this one here. So now I'm supposed to spread the counter shafts, is what they say in the book, so I can get the synchronizer out. I don't think I'm quite far enough on either of these. Okay, now I'm supposed to remove, this is called the synchronizer. I'm supposed to get that out of there. Okay, I was jumping ahead. Apparently I'm supposed to pound these back through, and there should be a snap ring somewhere in here. So I think there's a snap ring here. Yep. So the snap is right here and it's this outer ring here. I need to pull that out because that holds this side of the bearing in place. Okay, that snap ring is off. You can do the same to the other counter shaft here. That's pretty easy. Okay, now that those snap rings are off, I'm supposed to use a puller to pull this bearing off. Let's see if I have a bearing puller that will work for this. Okay, I think I need to use the bigger puller. No, I have to use the small one. Okay, I think I have it all hooked in as well as it's gonna get. Let's see if we can pull this off. Man, helps if I have it in forward instead of reverse, huh? So I have the outer race out of the housing now. I still need to get the inner race popped free from the shaft. Oh my god. Okay, one shaft down, one more to go. Gear wrench puller's a champ. The only thing that happened to it so far is I'm deforming this head with the different, probably not used to such a big, deep center hole in the shaft. Okay, we have to get this one off now. That's a little worrisome. They should never, it's a press fit here. They shouldn't come out that easily. Should be like the in-between between how hard this one was, the first one was, and this one. It's just a very loose fit. Apparently, it's just fine. I don't see any marks where it was wearing. You'll see these races will be all, or these, like the shaft and this part of the bearing, the inner race, will be all worn out and heated up and grooved from them spinning where there shouldn't be. But I think it was just a kind of a loose fit on this shaft. So I think we're lucky there. Okay, next step is to spread these shafts out to the side so I can get this, they call it the synchronizer. Get that out of here. Now we need to rotate this whole assembly without the bearings in it to find this keyway. So there's a key right here. I think I can just pop that up. Yep. So this is a key for this shaft. There's a tiny little pin in it. Don't want to lose that. Okay, now I have to align these splines up, just like so. And then this is the low range gear. It has a special washer in it. Okay, now I can remove this counter shaft. Okay, we're getting there. I need to pull this bolt so that I can get this yoke off, and then I have to pull this piston assembly and all that off. And then this counter shaft can come out, and then just a couple more things to do on this main shaft, then that gets pulled out too. Okay, now that this is all apart, I still need to get this section, which is the, I'm going to say the output shaft. This part. I need to pull a retaining clip off the back here so we can pull part of this apart. That way I can get to this section and press out the race that's behind this bearing right here that I need to get off. So. Okay, I finally got that circlip out. It's a pain because it doesn't go very far around. It doesn't go almost to the other one. So then it's really hard to get something to press it out because it doesn't actually, you can't grab it with your spreaders because it's way too close to the edge of where it wants to slip off. So that was a pain. Okay, I'm to the point now where I need to put this in a press, basically like this, and press this down so that I can push this bearing off. It's a press fit here. So once we do that, then we can start putting stuff back together again. Yeah, I still need my parts kit, so we'll wait till that shows up to do too much more here. I'll get it cleaned up. I also need to tap, just with a hammer, there's a couple more bearing races here that need to be just slightly tapped out. So yeah, we are pretty much, I'm gonna call this disassembled now. Once I throw this in the press, it won't take too long. It might be worth looking into getting a new one of these. I'm gonna call it a synchronizer gear. It's probably not the right term, but it slips in and out between this gear and the other one to shift between low and high range. And it's pretty well dinged up on the one side. This side is really good. This side is almost to the point where it could start skipping, I would think. So I'll get the part number off this and we'll get one of these ordered probably. Okay, I just tapped those 2 races out of the bore here. This bore doesn't feel great, unfortunately. But I think it's good enough.